Some years ago, I was blessed with the opportunity to travel to Ghana, Africa for a mission trip for 6 weeks. While in Ghana, we took a tour of 2 slave castles. Now, at the end of the first tour, I sat down and I wrote this poem called Reflection. Enjoy. As I look out from the slave castles at the raging waters and waves, this is where my ancestors lost their freedom only to become slaves. Husbands separated from their wives, parents from their children. What it must have been like for them, I couldn't imagine the feeling that pierced through their minds as they were led away in chains. Life, as they knew it, would no longer be the same. Being held captive against their will for another man's gain. Was this really fair? Today, the slave castles are tourist sites, but 500 years ago, it was my ancestors' nightmare that they had to live day in, day out, suffering in their innocence. They had no choice but to adapt, stripped, ripped of their identity. Yeah, it was taken by force, losing their character, their worth, but most of all, their voice. What could they actually say or do without being whipped or beat, overcrowded in dungeons with little or no food to eat? It's hard for me to hold the shackles that were slapped on their wrist. It's hard for me to imagine that slavery really did exist. As I stood where they stood, I asked myself, how did they endure all the pain they felt? The only way for some to escape and regain freedom only came through death. But for the ones who lived on, the slave castles were just the beginning of a many constant flow of tears from many treacherous years of agony on foreign territory that would ignite many stories and set the course of history. So for me to walk the path of my roots, I count that as a blessing. I thank God for healing me through this time of reflection. So as I look out from the slave castles at the raging waters and waves, this is where my ancestors lost their freedom to the Atlantic slave trade. What up, everyone? I am Dewayne Smithers, aka DS Poet. Do me a favor, subscribe to my YouTube channel, smash your notification bell so you can be notified when I come out with new videos. Until then, catch you in the next video. Peace.